Hey guys, how's it going? So today I am going to do a review of Outriders. Now, I've already put about 30 hours into the demo, played all of the characters in the demo, and now on the full game, I've put about 20 hours into the full game on various characters. And today I am going to give you my opinion of the game. As always, with all of my review videos, I'm gonna play the game for a while, and as I play the game, I'm going to give you my commentary. But if you just want to hear basically the long and the short of what I think about the game, then just skip to the last 5 minutes of the video and I will give you my quick opinion of the game in the last 5 minutes of the video. But if you want to hear more of what I think about the game and give my running commentary over the next hour or two that I play the game, then by all means watch the entire video and you will get a better understanding of all of the aspects of the game. As I said, I've put about 50 hours into the game, and yeah, I am pretty much ready to give my opinion on the game. So the game is Outriders. It's available on Steam and a few other places. It's available on consoles as well. It costs $60, which is above a AAA price. AAA games go for $45 to $50. This one is $60, and it already has day one DLC, which I do not like at all. So that's, to be honest, the first bad point about the game. It's very expensive, $60. And it has day one DLC, which is just about as bad as day one season pass. It's not good at all. But there you go. We will be seeing if the game is worth that $60 in this video. So I am playing on a Technomancer character. This entire video I'm going to be doing it on the Technomancer character, since I've already leveled all of my other characters up until around world level 13. With this character I'm on world level 11 currently. So if you go here, you go to the world level, or world tier as it is called. I call it world level. Each time that you die, you lose progress on the world tier. So if you die a lot, then you cannot reach world level 12 or 13 or 14 and 15. If you don't die at all, then you will be able to reach the higher levels. It's a pretty good measure of how competent a player you are. If you are able to constantly play at the higher world tiers, I would say anything past 10, then you're a pretty competent player. Since past 10, things get really difficult. Like you can see, the difficulty levels is like, it starts out at story, easy, normal, hard, expert, master, legend, immortal, frantic, impossible, Inferno, which is the one I'm currently on, but I'm gonna go to Torment pretty soon. So then it is Torment, Nightmare, Insanity, and Madness. So those are the different levels that you get. I can't remember exactly which game. I think it's like not Destiny 2, Division 2. Division 2 also uses world tiers, whereby the higher you choose your world tier, the higher gear drops. Except in this game, the world tier is completely skill based. In Division 2, you can just basically select the world tier that you want. But in this one, you have to earn it. In this game, you have to earn your higher world tiers. I've seen a bunch of people complain on the Steam forums and on Reddit and places like that they can't even get past world tier 7. So it just really comes down to a little bit of skill, a little bit of your gear, and a little bit of your build. Obviously the build of your character also matters quite a bunch. So I've gotten 2 other characters up to world tier 13, and then I stopped playing it so that I can play other characters, because obviously when I do a review I want to not just sample one character, I want to sample a bunch of different characters so that I can understand if one character is more overpowered than another character, for instance, and then obviously I will relay that information to you guys. So I stopped playing my other characters, started playing the Technomancer. So far I've had a breeze up until world tier 11. Soon I'm gonna go over to world tier 12. As I said, if you die, then your world tier there at the top goes back like a few centimeters sometimes. And the more you die, the more world tier you will lose. So it's a very good system to basically separate the bad players from the good players, from the very good players, since you have to be very good to play at tier 15, or at least you need to have a very competent build. So my build, I really haven't streamlined it as much as I wanted to. So my build basically revolves around having blighted bullets up the whole time. That's basically what my build is. And then I just have fixing wave, which heals you, that keeps me alive. And I have cryo turret just to irritate the enemies and to draw a little bit of their fire away from me. That's basically what my build is. On my armors here, there I just have some survival, like the emergency state mod just gives me a little bit of survival. Radial therapy is more damage. Achilles heel is more damage. Spare mag is for the blighted bullets. Move groove gives me more firepower. What goes around is more defense. Resistance piercer is more damage. Trick up the sleeve, that allows me to have the blighted bullets up constantly, and toxic lead as well allows me to have the blighted bullets up constantly. And then on my weapons I have perpetual mobile perpetuum mobile. I'm assuming that's how it's said, even though that might be incorrect. English is of course not my first language, so I actually want a weapon that does not have that perpetuum mobile on it. I don't need that. So I want to find a weapon that does not have that on, but the top mod Essence Thief basically keeps me alive a little bit more, even though I don't need that as well. I already get enough survival from my gear. And in this weapon I don't ever use, to be honest. It's just this weapon that I use, and then if I run out of bullets, which I never do, then I will swap to the LMG. So yeah, that's basically my build. You just get a big weapon with a big ammo clip. Ammo clip is very important. You need anything above 60 ammo clip is good. Anything above 100 ammo clip is even better. You do get weapons that have a 150 ammo clip. So mine only has 80, so it's not optimal. As I said, my build isn't really optimal. But as I reach the late game, my build will get more and more optimal. And then my class talent tree is basically damage and survival. I have a little bit of survival there. The rest is damage, basically. Damage. damage, 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 damage. So all of my skills are damage except for this one. And then my kind of final idea is to take that one, which is damage. This one gives you more magazine. Then I'm gonna take this one, which is more damage, and this one, which is way more damage, 40% more damage. And then after that, I will go down here to get a little bit more leech and health and stuff like that. Since once you have reached this space over here, then basically you have enough damage. But as you will see in the game, in the gameplay, I tear through shit like nothing else. My build, even though it's not optimal, really does a lot of damage. And I haven't died in a long time. I've died about 4 times, but honestly, I don't die anymore. My build is now good enough to the point where I don't die. So, if you have no idea what Outriders is, it is basically like Destiny 2. That's really the best way that I can describe it. It's like Destiny 2 or Division 2. You basically run around. It's a looter shooter, so you basically run around and kill stuff. And you play through a story, even though Division 2's story is way more open world. There's not like a real set story or anything like that. Destiny 2 has a little bit more of a story, even though a lot of people just avoid the story in Destiny 2 even. They more play it because it's an online shooter. This game honestly should not have been online. Or, well, it could have been online, but honestly the online is meaningless, especially for a player like myself. And I will talk about that as well. This game has a couple of problems with the fact that it is so online centric. They very much focused on the online aspect of the game and very much kind of, how can I say, reneged on the offline of the game. So I'm not talking about the single player like the story. I'm talking about the fact that it is literally worse to play this game as a single player person. You gain a lot of benefits by playing in a group, and that's something that I really don't like. Another game that I recently played, Fallout 76. Fallout 76 as well gives a massive advantage to group play. So that's something that I don't really like, because I, of course, prefer single-player games. I just don't really prefer multiplayer games. I just like single-player games. Witcher 3, oh, those guys do a lot of damage. Witcher 3, obviously, excellent game. Horizon Zero Dawn, excellent game. You know, I like single-player games, and even though this is a very good single-player game, you are literally worse off if you play it as a single-player game. You are more powerful in a group, and I mean that's insane. Like, there's literally abilities in this game that make you more powerful than a single player. I mean, that's shitty, to be honest. And for a person like me who has played this entire game single player, like alone, without anyone else, that is constantly like reminded. Like if I were playing this game in a group, then I would not have died there. Or if I were playing this game in a group, then I would have so much better loot. You know, it's that kind of thing. Like, I really don't like that at all. Path of Exile is a game that does that very well. Like in Path of Exile, you can play the game solo, obviously, and then you can also play the game in a group. The difficulty adjusts, and you're not that much weaker if you play solo than if you played in a group, except for auras. Obviously, Path of Exile has auras, but that's unavoidable, to be honest. At least you're not literally made weaker in Path of Exile simply because you're playing in a group as opposed to playing solo. You know, you're not made weaker. Whereas in this game, you are made weaker. You're literally weaker playing solo than if you were playing in a group. And I hate that. I also hate that with Fallout 76. In Fallout 76, you're also weaker as a solo player as opposed to when you are in a group. Now, let me explain that quickly for you. Let's have a look. There's so many. I actually have to be in camp in order to show that specific thing for you, but there's so many of these skills that affect your team as well. So stuff like this increases all healing by 20% for you and your allies. Now, that's absolutely fine. It benefits you and your allies. So that I would expect for all skills, to be honest. You know, like it should be like that for all skills. But
Chicago, you were right.
that's really the problem. It's not that way for all of the skills. I will show you when I get back to camp what I'm talking about. There are several mods, like these mods that you get on your armor and on the weapons. There are several of them that only affect teammates. So literally you get teammate builds and you don't get solo builds. There's nothing that says like, how can I explain? Let's say you get a skill, like let's have a look at one of these skills. Let's take this skill for instance. So there will be a skill that says increases your damage by 8% while in a team. Okay, there are skills like that. But there's no skills that say increases your weapon damage by a certain amount when solo. There's no skills like that. So that is what I'm talking about. There's skills that benefit you when you are on a team, but there's no skills that benefit you when you are playing solo. That's something that I really don't like about the game, to be honest. Let's select that one. So I'm heading towards that way. So you get the idea. You have a bunch of skills and weapons and stuff that benefit you when you're in a team, but you have none of the weapons or skills that explicitly benefit you when you are playing solo. That's something that I really, really don't like about the game. As a solo player, I don't want to be forced or feel like I'm being forced to play in a group. And unfortunately, in this game, you are forced to play in a group. The same as in Fallout 76, you're forced to play in a group simply because it's more beneficial. You get way more benefits from playing in a group as opposed to not playing in a group. So that's something that I really don't like about the game. I will show you just now when I get back into town. So that was a main quest. By the way, I should have probably mentioned it at the beginning. I'm obviously going to be playing this game for a while now, like probably 2 hours. So you have the possibility of being spoiled. So to be honest, if you don't want to see spoilers, even though I don't think there will be massive spoilers in this 2 hours, but if you don't want to even have the possibility of being spoiled in this video, then to be honest, just skip to the last 5 minutes of the video and you can hear my thoughts on the game there. But otherwise, there's the possibility that I might spoil something or go on a main story mission quest and spoil something for you. So if you want to avoid that, then yeah, just don't watch the video. But let me show you quickly what I'm talking about with regards to the team play. So
the end of the anomaly.
let's
That somehow
take
keeps it contained.
this one for instance.
The promised land we seek.
So let me just quickly have a look here where those team skills are. So here's an example of what I'm talking about. Each ally in close range, that's I believe 10 meters in the game, anyone within 10 meters, receives 4,000 points of armor. So you don't receive it, you don't get it at all. Only allies, each ally within close range receives 4,000 armor points. That's one example. Another example is on guns. You get a bunch of different mods that only affect allies as well. Where's that other one? Let me just have a look here. Where is it? Yeah. Killing shots replenish 400 points of health to allies within a 5-meter radius of the target. So it doesn't replenish it to you. Even if you're standing next to the target that you're killing, it doesn't replenish it to you. It replenishes it to your allies. So that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. There are skills and mods in the game that only affect your allies, that don't affect you as well. So if they wanted to make it equal, then they would say each player in close range receives whatever points of armor, but they don't do that. So literally this skill makes it so that it's objectively better to play in a group, since you will then get this from your teammates and you can give it to your other teammates. 4,000 armor points is a shitload, let me tell you. It's a shitload. Like, my total armor out of all of my armor that I currently have, and these are epic armor pieces that I have here, is 7,500. So literally, if I were in a team right now, I would not have 7,500, I would have 11,500, which is almost, well, it's more than 50% more. So I would be 50% stronger. I would have 50% more armor right now if I were in a team. So that just gives you an idea of how much better you will be playing the game if you're in a group. And I hate that. I hate the fact that you are more powerful when you are in a group. I don't like that at all. This game does it, and Fallout 76 does it as well. In Fallout 76 there are a bunch of skills that are explicitly for when you are in a team, that make you explicitly more powerful when you are in a team. And I just think that's ridiculous, to be honest. The devs need to fucking not benefit multiplayer players they need to make the playing field equal. And currently, the playing field is not equal for solo players compared to players who play in a group. So yeah, that's one of my biggest issues with the game, is the fact that solo players are weaker than players in a group. Individual players who are in a group, not like the entire group together, because obviously you will be stronger with a bunch of people around you. The individual player in a group is stronger than an individual player who is playing alone. So let's have a look at my weapons. If I got the upgrade, one thing that I don't like is that compare. When you want to compare a weapon, the compare goes off each time you close the window. I don't like that at all. Compare should stay on. So that's a little thing that really irritates me, to be honest. Okay, this one's damage is better, clip size is better, but the rounds per minute is less and the range is less as well. And it's not better than my current one that I have equipped. So yeah, it's not very good. We're going to sell that one. This one has about 100 more damage. Well, everything is better on this one, but the clip size is considerably less, and the rounds per minute is also considerably less, 300 less. So we're not going to take that, and sniper rifles I don't even look at. Sniper rifles are not good in this game, unfortunately. One thing that I really like is the fact that you can change the variant of your gun. Let's talk about the weapon modification a little bit, since it's one of the things that I like about this game. So, for instance, here is my gun. I can swap the variant. So you can see there, if I take it to the standard variant does more damage and has better accuracy and better stability, but it has a less effective range, less clip size, and less rounds per minute. But if I take it to the burst fire, the burst fire does considerably more damage, it has more stability, more accuracy, more crit multiplier, and it reloads quicker, but it has a smaller clip size and considerably less rounds per minute. So you can, if you want to play more of a sniper role with a weapon, then you can take the burst fire one, which does like 70 more damage. And if you want to play more all-rounder close range fight, then you can just change it to the standard model. And it's the same with all of the other guns as well. You can even change your sniper. You can change the sniper from a standard to a full auto. Then it will have a bigger clip size, less damage, and a quicker reload time, stuff like that. So I really like the fact that you can change the variant. You can upgrade your weapons to a higher level. You can improve the rarity. You can make this rare weapon into an epic weapon if you want. You can increase the stats of the weapon if you want. You can obviously mod the active modifier on the weapon, which is a big part of the game and of optimizing your build. So I really like the modification system in the game. It's certainly better than what you find in Destiny 2 and what's the other game that I say? Division 2. Destiny 2 and Division 2. So let me just quickly have a look. I know that my weapons aren't better. I didn't pick up a better weapon. So I just want to see if I didn't maybe pick up a better helmet or something like that. Critical shots build up to 5 stacking effect that grant you anomaly power and fire bonuses. I don't really have a crit build. You do get crit builds in the game. Like mine is a blighted rounds build, but you do get crit builds. But currently my crit rating is 5% chance. So 5% chance is not a lot of crit. So, but if you wanted to do a crit build, you can absolutely do it with this one over here. So I'm just not gonna change that. Nope. Wow, this one is 300 better than mine. But the mods on it are not very good. You can only change one mod. So, for instance, on this Brood Mother's Mantle, the radial therapy that is there, the mod radial therapy, wasn't there. I added it. But as soon as you add a mod to any of your stuff, the weapon or your gear, then you cannot add the second mod. You cannot change the second mod. So you can only change one mod on a piece of equipment. So you have to get, for instance, this one, but it is higher than my gear, 300 higher, which is quite a bit higher, but neither of those mods on it are desirable. Not the frostbite or the bullet recycling is desirable for me, so I'm not going to use the piece of equipment, even though it is 300 better than my current piece of equipment. So the mods play a very large role in deciding if you are going to use a piece of equipment or not. There is that ultimate Paragon that we were just speaking about, that it makes you more powerful in a team, increases your armor by 4,000 for each ally in close range. That's insane. That's like, if you are in a group of 4, then you are going to have 16,000 more armor than what if you were playing solo. 16,000 armor more. So right now, as I'm standing here, I could have had 16,000 more armor than what I currently have. That is insane. That's what I'm talking about with regards to the developers who have made this game massively in favor and a massive advantage towards group play and multiplayers. So me as a single player person, I've played this entire game, 50 hours solo. So I am directly weaker than what I would be in a group. So that's a very big problem that I have with the game. The same problem as what Fallout 76 have. And it's one of the reasons why I would not recommend that you play Fallout 76. So yeah, that I'm not gonna use since I'm not in a group. So yeah, I don't have any new weapons, like any new weapons that I want to use, so we're just going to move on. I have some quests over there. I actually have 3 quests right now on my map that I can see. There's a hunting quest. I quite like hunting quests. So let's do this hunting quest. Yeah, I guess we can do the hunting quest. So this game has a bunch of different quests. It has hunting quests where you have to go hunt a big monster. It has bounty quests where you have to hunt a human, a wanted human. It has just general collection quests, and yeah, that's just about it. And then of course it has the main quest as well, which really doesn't fall into either of those categories. It's like a mishmash of different stuff. One thing that I do like is the fact that you have a shortcut key on your keyboard in order to pick up all loot on the field. So that's something that I really like about the game. And the developers at least were smart enough to add a shortcut key like that, which makes your life significantly easier with regards to collecting loot. Because one thing that I hate about Destiny 2, for instance, is the fact that you have to run around and collect loot. It really breaks the immersion of the game. It breaks the pace of the game. It really makes it a much slower game than what it would be otherwise. And fortunately, this game does not suffer from that problem, since you just press the auto collection key and all of the loot on the map, in fact, gets put directly into your inventory. So that's something I really like. So while I kill this boss, I'm going to stay quiet for a little bit so that you guys can hear the audio and the battle and the gunfire and all of that kind of stuff a little bit. Okay, so I got 3 purples and 2 rares. That's pretty good. Two purples from that boss is pretty good. It's a little bit above average. Usually you would expect to get at least 1 from a boss like that. And then when I go and hand in this quest, this hunting quest, then I will get another purple. One which I can actually choose. This loot I obviously couldn't have chosen, but when you hand in a quest you get a choice of 3 different items, which is pretty cool. One thing while I'm talking about the rewards, the quest rewards, is that you cannot use the compare view when you are receiving your rewards. That's one thing that I don't like at all. So when you're getting your quest rewards, a window pops up and gives you 3 rewards, but you can't compare your reward to your weapon. So you can't see any of the stats of your weapon. So you can't even see, is this weapon that I'm about to get better than my weapon, or is this piece of equipment that I'm about to get better than my piece of equipment? You can't see that at all, and that's a huge oversight, to be honest. It basically means that you're picking your quest reward blind for the most part. So that's one thing that I really don't like, the fact that you can't have the compare view active on the rewards screen. So that was a hunting quest that we just did. We killed the big bad boss. Now let's quickly see, there's another quest over in this direction. As I said, I don't want to spoil the story for you guys, even though I don't think I'm at the stage where it will be spoiled for you guys, but I'm gonna do as many side quests as possible, and that's why I will hopefully not spoil the story for you guys. So yeah, a few things that I like about the game, and I will talk about the things that I don't like about the game after that, but a few things that I like about the game is the fact that the game runs smooth. Like, the game runs really, really smooth. I mean, I don't have the best PC on earth. I have a 1070 GTX, which is like a 5 or a 6 year old card by now. It might even be 7 years old, because I think that 1070 GTX came out in 2014. So I'm gaming on a 7 year old card, and the game looks absolutely fine. I'm playing it on high right now. I can play the game on ultra, which is the highest setting that it can go, but then I don't get 60 FPS. Right now on high I'm getting 60 FPS, and as you can see, the game looks really, really good, you know. So I'm really impressed by the fact that the game looks good and it doesn't run like shit. I really don't like it when a game runs like shit, you know. Obviously Destiny 2 also looks good, it runs very well. Division 2 looks good, runs really well, but those are games from really big studios. You would really expect that to be the case, whereas this game is from a small studio, a relatively small studio. They've done like 2 games previously, you know, so you would almost expect the game to not run as good, but honestly this game runs really, really well, and it just runs really smooth, you know. So that's really good. The fact that the game looks great and also runs great as well. I'm hiding from snipers because there are snipers, and snipers can really screw you over. Snipers do a shitload of damage. So if you don't look out and you're hit by 2 snipers at once, you can easily die. Like, snipers just do an insane amount of damage. Constantly have to be looking out for those bastards. Come on. So there's a sniper. Oh no, that's a sniper boss. That's not good. That's not good. I didn't know that that was a boss. Sniper boss is really bad, since they fuck you up whether you're really close to a guy or really far away. What's that? Oh, the guy's gonna respawn. Okay, there he respawns. Wow, this boss is really powerful. I'm gonna need to play really well against this guy. So if you're wondering why I'm shooting him a little bit and then running away, it is so that I can replenish my bullets. My build works with replenishing my bullets when I get a kill. So I do that by killing someone, obviously, and then shooting my remaining bullets on the enemy boss. So I stop shooting him right before I run out of bullets, and then I run back. Oh, that was a sniper hit, nearly killed me. And then I run and kill one of the enemies, and then I just rinse and repeat until the until the boss is dead. As you can see, snipers do a shit out of damage. Like literally 2 snipers can kill you if they shoot you consecutively, which is not good. They're hiding just at the back there. They need about 3 or 4 seconds to lock onto you, but once they have locked onto you, they hit you for basically half of your HP. Wow, 2 chests next to each other. I haven't seen that ever. I've never seen 2 chests next to each other. That's really good. I might want to revisit this place in the future. So yeah, that's basically how I fight a boss. I shoot him until I have about 10 bullets left, and then I go and kill a normal unit. And then I just rinse and repeat until the boss is dead. So because this was a hunt, we get a little bit of a cutscene there, and now the hunt is complete. I don't think there's any more loot around here. I think it was just basically those 2 chests at the back there that we got. That thing over there that's glowing there, that's just a ammo. So you just get ammo from that. You replenish your ammo. Okay, so now we go over there. I don't have any other quests in this area. Oh, well, I actually have one over there. I need to go over there, definitely. So yeah, that's how my fighting works, how my build works. I can shoot the boss just normally, like this, just shooting normally without the blighted bullets, but the blighted bullets do like double, sometimes triple the damage of my normal bullets. So yeah, the blighted bullets are way more powerful. Let's hear what this guy has to say.
You lost?
Just passing through.
That'll get you killed around here. This place is hell.
Yeah, one's hell's another paradise. It's a strange feeling serving a higher purpose. One has a sense of dread, but also a profound sense of having been chosen.
Who are you? And what are you doing out here?
If one wants to understand this world, there's a place we must reach. But there are too many beasts, and my powers fail me. The monolith of the old ones. I need your help. You will be compensated.
When you put it that way, sure, I'll help.
Help me. Help me help them. I'm so damn close.
Okay, well, this guy seems a little bit shady, but okay, let's help him. I don't know, I don't think he's a good guy. He just seems a little bit weird. So the devs use little transition scenes like this in order to load the next zone. I'm pretty impressed with the load times. The load times are pretty quick. Like that scene that we just were in, it takes about 8 seconds, maybe 10 seconds to load the next zone, and that's pretty good, you know. That's a good quick load time for the next zone. I'm not running this game on my SSD. I'm certain that if I were to run it on my SSD, that the load times would be quicker. But yeah, I'm just running it on my normal hard drive, and the load times are like 10 seconds. So it's actually pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that, since nobody likes a game where you have to spend 30 or so seconds in order to, we want to avoid that, in order to load the next zone. Nobody likes staring at the loading screen for 30 seconds or anything like that. So now you see there's a bunch of loot over there, over there, over there, over there, and you just press one key and boom, you pick up all of the loot at once. I really like that. It's honestly a great feature in the game. So one thing that this build of mine excels at is dealing with a horde of enemies. Like honestly, a horde of enemies is nothing. I have no problems dealing with a large horde of enemies. Where this build struggles a little bit is with bosses, especially bosses that have a lot of HP. Like, if a boss does a lot of damage, that's not really a problem for me. I just dodge and I have enough survivability. But if the boss has a lot of HP, then unfortunately I run out of my blighted bullets. And that means I have to shoot the boss normally. And I still do damage, obviously, but like I said, I do about 3 times as much damage with the blighted bullets as what I do without the blighted bullets. Now, here's one thing that I don't like about the game at all. When you mine, like I just did here, when you mine, you lose your blighted bullets. So as you can see there at the bottom left, my blighted bullets just went off. So now I am shooting normal bullets. So for some fucking reason, the developers thought that it would be wise for you to lose your blighted bullets and basically any other active skill that you have active at that time. You lose it when interacting with the mining. You lose it when reloading your weapons at the reload chest. You lose it when doing a bunch of stuff, frankly. So that's not cool. I really hope that the devs fix that, since it's really irritating to lose your active skill, the skill that you have active, when simply doing something like mining or restocking your ammo and stuff like that. It's really irritating, since my blighted bullets, for instance, takes like a minute to cool down. So I literally have to wait a minute before I can use my skill again, simply because I harvested some resources, you know. So that's really irritating. That's another little thing that I don't like about the game, but honestly not as big as the other stuff that I've mentioned already. But yeah, like I was saying, the game looks great, it runs great, it doesn't murder your PC in order to look great. It's like Witcher 3 basically. Witcher 3 looks fucking amazing, and you don't need the best PC on earth to simply run the game. You know, I played Witcher 3 on my 960 GTX, so that was a 4 gigabyte card. This card that I have right now is an 8 gigabyte card. And I played Witcher 3 on high on my 960 GTX. So it's really good when a game looks good and runs good. Doesn't need a massive computer to run good. I recently played a game called Legends of Elaria, and the game looks like it's straight out of 2005. Like, it does not have good graphics at all, but that game destroys my PC. Like, I can't even get above 30 FPS on that game, and sometimes it goes down to 10 FPS. And the game looks terrible. Like, it really looks like Two Worlds. Like, if you remember, Two Worlds was an RPG game that was released in around 2004 or 2005.
Hey, Wanderer.
It looks like that.
Girl broke your heart, and now you're out here living like a hermit, so nobody can ever hurt you again. That kind of thing.
No one hurt me. I hurt them. Hurt all of them.
Who'd you hurt?
Doesn't matter anymore. They're all gone now. I'm the only one left to remember.
So she just spoke to the Wanderer a little bit. I went up in world tier, so that's pretty cool. Let's see what legendary item I get. So I only have 3 world tiers to go, then I'm at world tier 15, which is the most difficult setting in the game. And as we've seen already, I am making world tier 12 and 11 look like a piece of cake. Okay, it's a submachine gun. That is not what I want, but I will see if I can't change the standard variant, since this is the standard variant, into a variant that has more range, since the range is really the thing I'm looking for. So we might still use this weapon if I am able to make it have a little bit more range. The legendary weapons look really cool. I had another legendary weapon that had these crystals around it, like orange crystals. I actually took a screenshot of it and put it on my Steam profile. So if you want to look at it, it looks pretty dope. You can just go and have a look on my Steam profile. But another thing that I really like about the game is the fact that you can inspect weapons like this. You know, you can like turn them around and stuff like that. Have a look at them from every angle. I really like that. Apart from the game just looking cool, you know. I believe you can also inspect weapons like this in Destiny 2. But yeah, it looks really cool in this game. So unfortunately I didn't get a good legendary weapon, but it's no problem. This weapon that I currently have already tears enemies apart, so it's not like I really have a need for a lot more firepower. Oh, here is a big enemy. Okay, these guys teleport. I don't like them at all. So I'm gonna take this battle slow. Ouch, that was not good. I don't believe this boss summons any oh, he does. Okay, that's good, because if he didn't summon any minions, then I was going to run out of ouch, that's not good. Then I was going to run out of bullets. Oh, for fuck's sake, I ran out of bullets. Dodge, dodge, dodge. Dodge, 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 dodge. No, dodge. Dodge, dodge, dodge. Dodge, dodge, dodge. So I don't have my special bullets anymore. But it's really low on health. Ouch. You bastard. He very nearly killed me a couple of times. That would not have been good. Yeah, those guys are bastards because they teleport. Like most enemies, I don't really have a problem with being able to get killed since they don't teleport, but that bastard teleports, so you really can't avoid damage. He just teleports and hits you and does a bunch of ranged attacks. With most other enemies, I just like am able to avoid them by just dodging and moving efficiently and stuff like that. So let's see what this quest guy has to say.
You're altered.
Is that what they call it where you come from?
Where the hell do you come from? And why did you ask for my help? You have powers, you could have just...
Be wary of your powers, Altered. They will lead you to madness. The more you feed them, the harder the darkness pulls. I no longer have the strength. Yes. Perhaps. Yes.
You can read that? Who are you?
Go back the way you came if I were you. The way forward is only death. Compensation for your troubles.
Well, I'm certain we will find out eventually who that guy is. Let's take this one, since I don't use a sniper or a revolver.
Do you know anything about this big gate? Or those ruins? About who built them?
If you had the answer, what would you do with it?
Satisfy my curiosity?
Curiosity is arrogance. Curiosity is what brought us here.
I'm pretty sure survival brought us here.
No. Survival is all we're left with, after our answers have turned everything else to ash.
So yeah, that was a really close battle, really difficult, but fortunately you were able to see in this video one of the more difficult bosses, you know. That one fucking teleports. I've only fought about 2 of them throughout the entire game, and that one is really difficult. He teleports like a bastard, uses ranged attacks. Even though I did my utmost to avoid him, he still managed to almost kill me a couple of times. That's the thing with this game. You take an insane amount of damage. Like, you take damage constantly. If you look at my health during the next battle. My health is constantly going down, and if you don't have a build in order to regen that health, then you're simply going to die. There's really no mitigation in this game. Like, there's no immunity. You can't make yourself immune to damage. You don't have a shield, obviously, to block damage. You just basically have to take the damage and heal it back. This entire game is basically centered around healing back the damage that you took. That is why every class, every different class has a different way of getting health back. So if you look here, they explain it here. Where was it? It was around here somewhere. Let me just, here we go. So the Devastator, which is the tank class in the game, heals with every close range kill. So every melee kill. Well, not melee, you actually can also kill with a shotgun, and then it will also count as a close range kill. The Trickster heals and grants shield with every close range kill as well. The Pyromancer heals when killing enemies marked with skills. And the Technomancer, which is the character that I am, significantly increased weapon leech and skill leech. So, and then they go on to explain what weapon leech is. It's basically weapon damage, and skill leech is damage done by your skills. Basically all four classes have different ways to heal, but that's really what the game comes down to. You have no way to avoid damage. You just have to take the damage and then heal it back using those four described methods that I just described. So yeah, it is a little bit strange, since like in Destiny 2 obviously you get shields and stuff that you can use, like actual you have health and you have shield. In this game you only have health. You do get shield. There are some abilities that can generate shield, but they're not good at all. So you just get health basically, and you have to heal that health back or the damage back by doing combat in combat. And then the Vision 2 has, as far as I can remember, I haven't played the game in quite a while, but like in Division 2, like you have such a shitload of health. Like I remember my one character had like 300,000 health. Like it's just insane the amount of health that you can build up in that game. In this game, you really have to watch your health very closely, or else you will get one shot. Obviously, like you saw now a couple of times, a sniper takes away more than half of my health, and that boss that I just fought nearly kills me with a single hit. So let's see. I want to see, can I change the variant of this submachine gun, my legendary submachine gun, into a variant which I can actually use, since I am not going to use a weapon with 15-meter range.
And on the other side,
Swap variant. There's no other variant, unfortunately. That sucks. Well, because that's a gun which I would actually have used if only the range were better, because the RPM is a little bit better, the damage is a little bit better, the reload is much better, even though I never reload my weapon, and the crit multiplier is a little bit better. So all of the stats are a little bit better, but the clip size is about 40% smaller, and the range is just unacceptable. I can't fight with a 15-meter range weapon. So The weapon isn't a lot better. It just would have been nice if I could use the weapon. But at least I do get a new tier 3 mod out of it, which is during combat, your weapon drains up to 50% of your max health in exchange for 75 weapon damage bonus. Wow, that's pretty interesting. So perhaps if you combo that Dark Sacrifice skill with a skill like the Essence Thief, which I have on my weapon right now, then the max health reduction will get countered, basically. So then you are constantly stealing life with the Essence Thief whilst losing health, so it basically cancels it out, but then you have 75 weapon damage bonus. So this weapon actually could be pretty good if you combo the second mod with something that can counter the downside. But I'm going to disenchant this weapon. I'm not going to use it, so there we go. We disenchant it and we get the mod. So now I can use that mod, which I didn't have previously, on any of my weapons, which is pretty cool. The game obviously has a mod system, and you acquire new mods by disenchanting weapons with mods that you don't currently have. Let's have a look at this weapon. It has a lot more damage than mine, but much slower RPM and much smaller clip. So I'm not going to use that one. This one, not much better. I don't use snipers, don't use shotguns, don't use shotguns. Holy balls, that's a lot of damage. Holy hell, that is an insane amount of damage. Why the hell does this thing have so much damage? That's the highest damage I've seen so far on an assault rifle. Obviously, sniper rifles have a lot of damage, like 3,500, but this is an insane amount of damage. Like a ballistic amount of damage. Let's see if we can't change the variant to a more suitable variant. Because holy shit, that is absolutely insane. You see, I can increase the clip size by about 10, but then the damage drops by 50%, which is not good. So I really have to use this weapon as is, and unfortunately 30 clip size is a little bit rough. That's really rough. Let me just do a little bit of quick math here. So it does more than 3 times the damage of mine, and it has less than 3 times the clip size. It has almost half the clip size and 3 times the damage. That's actually pretty insane. I might actually use this weapon. Like, I've been using this weapon that I currently have for a long time, but this is pretty insane. The icebreaker mod on it is not a really good mod. I don't really see myself using the icebreaker, but the damage on this thing is just insane. but the clip size is really bad, and it has less than, well, it has almost half the range, which is not good, to be honest. Oh, I am so tempted to use this weapon. I am incredibly tempted to use this weapon. I actually might change it for this one. So let's see. This is a really good weapon. Holy shit. Let me just see if there's not another weapon that I might consider using. No, that one's clip is a little bit too low. Although it's a double gun, so I might actually be able to change the double gun to the Demolisher version. I will actually try that. And that's a shotgun, that's a light machine gun. Let's try this to try and change the variant of the double gun. That's one thing that you really have to remember constantly. Even though this gun as it is not better than my gun, by changing the variant, you can actually make it considerably much better. Let's see, is that the one I want? Let's compare it now. Yeah, so now this new double gun is exactly the same as my double gun, except it has 1,500 more firepower and it has about 50 more damage. So it's better. There's no if, ands, or buts about it. It is simply better. So I'm gonna take that one, and then I'm just gonna put another mod on it, since the improved stiffening is a good mod for bosses. It's not so good for the normal minions, since it has a 4-second cooldown, but for bosses the slow is very good. Let me just see if I don't have any mods that I want to put on there right now. I really can't get over the fact that this fucking thing has that much damage. It's an insane amount of damage. Now, I don't think there's any mods that I don't have right now. There's this little block next to the mod's name which tells you if you have the mod already or not. Okay, so that's very good. I got a new main weapon. And wow, that one is pretty good. I got a new pistol as well, even though I don't use pistols. One really cool thing about pistols is the fact that they have unlimited ammo. So like literally you can shoot and then just reload, and they have unlimited ammo. So that's actually really cool. I think you might be able to complete the entire game with just pistols. They're actually that good. Okay, now I just quickly want to see if there's not any new helmets for me. Okay. I think that's a new helmet that I can use. Yes, I'm gonna use this helmet. Just wanna see, killing enemies with a weapon while they're affected by bleeding increases your weapon leech. That's not too bad. Let's get that mod, since I don't have that mod yet. I'm gonna get that mod as well, since I don't have that mod yet. Any mods that I don't have yet, I'm going to learn, obviously. And then boosts your weapon damage by enemies affected by bleed. Not really good, but I don't have that mod yet. Let me see, this is 300 more powerful, but none of those mods are good for me. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to sell that one. And just the pants. Wow. Critical shots inflict the bleed on enemies. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, blighted rounds, spare mag. I need to put spare mag on there. Let's do that quickly. Spare mag, before I forget. And then once I have equipped my new armor, I'm gonna head into battle again, obviously. So just bear with me. Let's have a look here. Spare mag, spare mag. Where is it? Spare mag. There we go. And we are gonna put that on there. So now that I put spare mag on there, I can't change the second mod anymore. I guess the developers made it that way so that you can't like get too OP or something like that. I'm not really sure. Let's have a look. Where was my helmet, or did I disenchant my helmet? I think I might have disenchanted my helmet. I don't think I had anything very important on there. Spare mag is incredibly important. Radial therapy is very important. Trick up the sleeve is incredibly important, and really all of the other stuff isn't that important. So I can basically put anything that I want on this piece of armor. So let's have a look. That's not good. That's not good. Emergency state is good for survival. Killing enemies with a weapon while they're... No. Critical shots, no. No. So I don't really have that many good tier 2 mods right now. Emergency state is really the only one that I would consider putting on my stuff. Let's see. I don't really think I have anything here. Let's put emergency state on there. It's not an amazing thing to have, but it's better than what was on there. And then that's good. Let's have a look at my gear again quickly. Okay, done. Let's disenchant that one to get the mod. Wow, these gloves are good. So all that I need is what goes around on that one. What goes around? Killing enemies with critical shots, grant, blah blah blah. Okay, so this one is just so much better than this one. The mods aren't that good, but the power is just so much better. So then on this one, we must put what goes around. This one has two very important mods on it, so I can't really replace this one, unfortunately. Unless I replace emergency state or some other thing that isn't so important. No, I'm just gonna stay with this one, I think. Even though this one is 400 better. I'm just gonna stay with this one. So on this one we will put what goes around, and then we are done. Then we can head out again. Unfortunately with this game, the same as with Destiny 2 and what's the other fucking game? Division 2. You spend a considerable amount of time in the menu, just like doing shit, you know. So yeah, that's the unfortunate life of keeping up to date with your gear and all of that. You spend it easily like 20% of your gameplay you spend in the menu, just looking at your gear and making sure you have the best gear, customizing your gear, all of that kind of shit. Let me just see if I have enough space. Okay, I can take 15 more weapons there and about 10 each there. So that's fine. I don't need to go back to town right now. I like my my new look. Like I look very desert-ish. Let's have a look. Where's that other place? I want to go there. One thing that I really don't like about the map is, firstly, it's not an active map. It's a static map, so you can't see your position where you are standing. It's not like a mini-map. The game has no mini-map, essentially. So you can't see where you are right now. And you can't place any markers. Like I'm clicking right now, you can't place any markers. So I want to go there. I want to know how to get there, but it's not allowing me to click there at all. So then I have to look in the list for historian memories, and I don't see historian memories here at all. So fuck knows how to get there. I basically have to run around and search for that place. Hope I find it. Let me fucking think. The map is really so confusing that you have no idea where you're going. I think this leads to there. So that would mean way over here will be the entrance I'm looking for. And I can't go past there for some fucking reason. Let's have a look. It should be over here somewhere. Can I go through here somewhere? Through here or over here? Because I want to do that quest. Maybe it's over here. Yeah, it should be. Okay, yes, it's over here. So I had to spend more than a minute finding my way over here when they could have just made the map active, not static. Like the static map doesn't fucking help you. I'm standing right there right now and it's not showing it. It's not showing it on the map. It's not showing you in which direction to go. You can't place a fucking marker on the thing where you want to go. Like I want to place a marker there and then I can know, okay, over in that direction, but it doesn't do that. The devs haven't thought about that. So that's another thing that I really don't like. The fact that you spend minutes running in the wrong direction and then seeing, oh, this isn't the right direction. Let me try one of the other 5 directions that the quest could possibly be in. You know, like fucking I could have ran in that direction or that direction or that direction or that direction, and then at the very last attempt I could have gotten the correct direction. Fortunately I got the correct direction at the very beginning through deducing it and just blind luck, but I could have wasted like 5 minutes of my life just running around right now, and that really pisses me off. So I hope I have the right gun right now. I didn't even take the time to make sure that I have the right gun, but I think I have the right gun right now. Since one of these guns that I have right now is the gun that I picked up, that I modified, and the other gun is basically my backup gun. Let me just have a look here. Okay, so the red one is the one that I want. I didn't even customize my ability. Oh no, it's this gun. No? No, it's this one. Yeah. I didn't even customize my ability. What was my ability on it? Let me just have a look. I had Essence Thief. Okay, Essence Thief. Well, this is basically the same. Ruler of Leeches is basically the same as Essence Thief. It serves basically the same purpose. So I think here I should pick up a book of some kind. Okay, there's a few mini bosses. Don't want to get stamped on by those bastards. They can almost kill me in 1 hit. So as you can see, I just fucking destroy enemies when there are a bunch of them. They have no fucking chance. It's really only the boss fights where I have to use my brain cells. Otherwise, with this build, you just fucking fly through the normal levels that don't have a boss fight or anything like that. Okay, I don't think there's anything to loot in that direction, but there is over here. You always have to run around and sniff out the loot. Oh, a nice epic. I think I just got another shotgun. I don't like shotguns. Nope, that's a light machine gun, and that is tactical bar. Submachine gun with some really good damage. Holy shit. I might actually use that one. That's a really good damage. This one has some pretty good damage. High clip rate, clip size at least. I might actually use this one and that one. Holy shit, I just picked up two very good weapons. Okay, so now I've done all of the side quests, and now I'm going to do the main quest. But yeah, like I have said so far, I've basically told you guys everything that I wanted to. I can't go there yet, the way is blocked off, I think. But later on I will. Oh no, that's actually my main quest. I was thinking that I was standing over there, but I'm not actually. Like I've basically said already, I've basically already said all of the good points already. Let me just have a look here quickly, because I actually wrote down a few of the pointers. Another thing that I really like about the game is the fact that the enemies are smart. Like, the enemies are really smart, especially obviously the humans. The beasts in the game just really storm towards you. You know, there's not really any tacticalness that they could use. You know, it's just they storm towards you and try to zerg rush you. You know, you can't really program much tacticalness into just normal guys like that. Let me just think here quickly. It was the submachine gun, wasn't it? Where's the submachine gun? I think it was, no, not that one. Was it this one? I think it was this one, yes. So you can't really put much tacticalness into Zerg rushing enemies, but the humans are really pretty damn smart. Like, they dodge and just fucking use cover really well. They use cover surprisingly well. So yeah, I really like the smartness of the enemies. The fact that they don't just like stand next to a wall and shoot at you. They actually duck down, they move cover, they flank you. Like, if you think you're flanking an enemy in this game, then you've got another thing coming, because as soon as you start moving and they realize, okay, we are going to get flanked, then they start moving as well. So the human enemies in this game are really impressive with how smart they are and how much tacticalness they actually do. The beast enemies also, actually. The beast enemies dodge, like you will see when I'm shooting at some of the beast enemies. They do actually dodge and stuff like that. So that's actually also pretty impressive from the beast enemies as well. So yeah, I like the fact that the enemies aren't just mindless idiots that you kill easily. This one has almost double the damage, but it has half the range. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be able to use that one. This one has a bigger clip, bigger damage, but the range, once again, is not good. Or was it this one that I wanted to look at? Yes, it was this one. Bigger clip, but once again, quite a bit less range. And this one, that's a shotgun. I don't use shotguns. So yeah, unfortunately, these two weapons do look good, but they aren't that good, to be honest. Shots decrease your target's resistance by 35% for 6 seconds. That's really good. Holy shit, I might actually put that on my weapon. And then this one has Icebreaker. Let's learn that one as well. Don't think there's anything else. Nope. We can learn this too, and then we can put a thing on my weapon, even though I think the one that is currently on your Ruler of Leeches, that might actually be a very good mod. Let me just see here if there's not anything better that I can put on there. Don't want that one. Killing shots grant a protective golem effect for 3 seconds. That is very good, but not good against the bosses. That's going to be basically useless against the bosses, unfortunately. The golem effect, as far as I know, makes you have more armor. That's another thing that I don't really like about the game. The fact that you don't know what golem does. There's a couple of terms in the game where you don't know what it does. Like, it will say golem, but what the fuck does golem do? Like there. Killing shots grant you a protective golem effect. What does golem do? Does it give you more health? Does it give you more armor? Does it give you a specific resistance? What does it do? And the the game just doesn't tell you, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's something that I don't like. The fact that you have to fucking go and look at a wiki or something like that in order to just find out what the stuff in the game do, you know. So I don't like that at all. There's not really anything that I'm seeing that's better than Ruler of Leeches, to be honest. I think Ruler of Leeches might actually be pretty good. I can put shield on here. Shots generate shield. But I've tried that and shield is pretty fucking useless. I don't know like what shield, like if you can do a shield build, perhaps, I don't know. Just really, as far as I've seen, shield is pretty fucking useless. Because I've tried it and it generates so little shield. It generates like no shields. The enemies immediately attack through the shield. I think Ruler of Leeches is fine. I really can't think about anything better than Ruler of Leeches, to be honest. I guess we can go on the main quest now. Let me just have a look at my map quickly. I can't teleport to there, I don't think. Maybe I can. Let me have a look at my teleporter quickly. Nope, I can't teleport over there, so I'm gonna have to run over there. So yeah, I've done all of the side quests in this zone. Now all that remains is the main quest. Can't be over in this direction, can it? No, it can't be over in that direction. That's the direction that we just went. It has to be over in this direction because my map is telling me it's over in that direction, but that can't be right. It has to be over in this direction. I mean, that's another thing that the game devs really need to fix. The fucking minimap, that it doesn't even tell you in what direction to go. Doesn't tell you the correct direction to go in. Here's something that I can harvest. I mean, fucking... Never mind the minimap not telling you where to go. It literally tells you to go in the incorrect direction. That's pretty fucking insane. I mean, fuck, I've heard of devs not putting in quest directions or quest arrows simply because they're lazy, but these devs have put something in the game which literally tells you to go in the wrong direction. How insane is that? I mean, here we are. We're on the correct direction now because my quest just updated. So I was correct in following my own brain and knowing that that other direction is the incorrect direction. It's still telling me to go into that wrong direction. That's pretty insane. Like it's... Ouch, ouch, ouch. It still hasn't updated. I fucking ran out of bullets there, but it's no big problem. I fortunately managed to finish the fight without any big problems. But holy shit, they threw like 3 of those big Colossus motherfuckers at me. 3 or 4 of those poison dudes and like 30 of those small Reserve-Rush motherfuckers. That's pretty insane, but as we saw there, I tore through their asses like a hot knife through butter. That's what I really like about this build. This build does exceedingly well against a horde of enemies. It's just the bosses where you really have to use a little bit more brains and tacticalness. But otherwise than that, this build is really good so far. But obviously, like I said, my build is far away from being optimal. I mean, I haven't even reached the final skill point that I need in order to make this build good, you know, in order to really add the ultimate skill to this build. I haven't even gotten that skill yet. And this build is doing this well, you know, it's performing this well. I ran out of bullets. So yeah, that was a boss. It wasn't a mini boss, it was actually a boss. And we did pretty well. I just ran out of bullets, but fortunately I have this this thing, where is it? Here we go, spare mag. This skill is effective for 1 additional magazine before triggering the cooldown. So that spare mag allows me to run out of bullets once with the blighted rounds, and then I have another magazine. Normally with the blighted rounds, you will only get 1 magazine, but if you have that spare rounds mod, then you get 2 magazines instead of just 1. So that's pretty awesome. It helped me out a whole bunch so far. Okay, so this is going to be a motherfucker of a fight. You can already see just from the arena, how the arena looks, that this is going to be a fight. So I hope you have your panties on straight, because we're about to see some shit going down. Let me just explore the area to see if there's not any loot, and then also, oh, while I'm exploring the area, I also will learn if there's any pathways which I can use while kiting the boss, because obviously I don't want the boss to get close to me, so I might want to kite him up here and then run back down, you know. So that will be useful while I'm searching for loot, to also just see if there's not any pathways that I can use. There will probably be loot up here as well. There's one mine over there. There we go. I don't see any other loot, but yeah, I will probably, during the boss fight, have to come up here for some reason. I can already see that happening, because they wouldn't put that place and this place over here for fucking nothing, you know. So let's see. This is going to be a massive boss fight. There's some ammo over there. There's a flag over there, which is strange. Why would there be a flag? Unless I am going to engage the boss fight before I reach the flag. That's probably going to happen. I'm going to try to avoid it. Oh, there's another area up here as well. With some more loot. Oh. They just want to scare me. Okay, that's probably it. There's probably another area over there as well. I'm avoiding that center area like the plague. Oh, I can't plant it yet. Yeah, this is going to be a motherfucker of a boss fight.
Outrider, let us know if you want us to join you at the gate.
Yeah, you're gonna join me in just a second. Wow, is this a fucking gate? Is this entire gate going to open? That's going to be insane. Isn't there any loot up here? Nope. And I'm actually looking forward to this boss fight. Let's just see if there's not any loot over here as well, and then we can fight the boss. There's some mine over there, there's some loot over there as well. Maybe there's a little enemy hiding in the shadows again. Yep. So you can see how much more time it takes to kill an enemy without the blighted rounds activated. As soon as I activate the blighted rounds, I do like 3 times my normal bullet damage. So the blighted rounds I really like. That's why most of my build centers around keeping that blighted rounds up for as long as possible. Okay, let's fight the boss. Good luck to me.
What do we have here?
What do we have here indeed? Okay, there's enemies coming from every side. I don't like that at all. So I'm going to try to take up an advantageous position. Basically going to Serious Sam their asses. Obviously in Serious Sam you fucking kite bosses and enemies from very far away. Okay, I'm down to 14 bullets. Now I kill one of the little guys and then I continue blasting the boss. And rinse and repeat. Oh, I ran out of bullets, for fuck's sake. That's not good. It was like on my last bullet that I killed that guy. I don't like these flying bastards. They have ranged attacks. Dodge, dodge. Dodge. Big guy, I don't like him. Okay, mini boss is dead. Wow, I got 3 or 4 epics there when I looted. once again, it's really awesome that you can just press one key and it loots all of the loot in the area. I really like that. Okay, those guys are strong. I've fought one of them before, but now I have to fight two of the bastards. So we'll just tag them a little bit. Holy shit. Now this is Serious Sam. This feels very much like Serious Sam. Just running backwards, shooting enemies. This reminds me of playing Serious Sam in high school. I was like fucking 14 or 13 years old when I played Serious Sam. I think 1. Serious Sam 1 or 2. Those were the days. Big fucking open areas like this. Just massive open areas, and then
How the hell do we open it?
just a stream of enemies coming towards you.
The gate to the next circle of hell.
That gate is all that stands between us and the source of the signal.
I am this close to changing my mind about going through that giant fucking gate.
We put the fast travel point down. We leveled up, so let's apply our thing quickly. Wow, this will actually help a lot. Don't I have my skill point? But I leveled up. Oh, where's my skill point? Unless you don't get a skill point at level 25. That sucks. I did level up. So where's my skill point? That's the first time that I've leveled up and I didn't get a skill point. So I guess they are rationing the skill points until you reach the maximum level. I don't know. Okay, but that battle was really easy, to be honest.
I'm waiting for you here.
Those two bosses that came out, I just melted. So, spoiler warnings. If you don't want to get spoiled, don't watch the next 5 minutes.
Behind this gate, but there's no obvious mechanism for opening it.
August, you must know, yeah.
Lost people.
You mean there's others like you?
Maybe.
What do you mean? You know what's out there?
Oh, come on! That's our only hope? It's the end of the goddamn world out there. What happened to a place beyond the storms, huh?
We are about to go farther than any man has ever gone before.
Well, let's go! Before I change my fucking mind. Mr. Spock. Crazy fucking...
I don't know why he called him Mr. Spock. I didn't really get that reference. Unless he was not referring to Star Trek.
Look at the size of that.
It's coming fast. We need shelter.
I'll take the lead. Stay on me.
Well, this just gets better and better.
That's another thing that is very strange about the game. It has constant scenes like that where the dialogue just cuts out. Like, literally, they're talking and then the dialogue just cuts out immediately. So the devs really didn't get the timing of the quests and the dialogue and the scene transitions correct.
I'm trying, but we barely have any water left as it is.
Tahiti, you sure she'll never walk again?
It'd be a miracle if she did.
So that thing is moving, but I don't want to move with it. I want to explore. So I want to see if there's not any loot around here or anything like that. I hope that it's not going to be like a escort quest where I constantly have to escort the thing. Okay, but it's standing still at the moment, so I'm assuming I don't need to go with it constantly. I don't see anything anywhere. But there has to be something somewhere. Holy shit, this is like literally a desert. Just sand and mountains everywhere. Oh, here's a little bit of iron. Really not worth running all the way over here, to be honest. Like a minute of running. Fucking 362 iron. I already have like 40,000 iron, so iron isn't really the thing I'm after, but these things sometimes drop titanium, and titanium is really rare. So that's the actual thing that I'm after. Wow, that is the first chest that I've ever seen that only dropped one item. Literally always they drop 2 items. That's the first one that dropped only 1 item. Okay, well I got 1 item and some iron out of it, running all the fucking way over there. Oh, here come some enemies.
No matter where I go, your kind get uglier and uglier.
I like this big open area. I hope the game has more like that. So that I can just fucking tear them apart. Yeah, I'm getting some serious Sam vibes from this encounter right now. Brings back a lot of nostalgia. I haven't played Serious Sam in ages. Oh, there's a Big Daddy. Oh. No, don't wild charge, please. No wild charging, thank you very much. And he's dead. I destroyed him. Some of the enemies also have weak points, like
don't understand.
if you shoot them, yellow text pops up. That's when you know you're hitting the critical weakness point.
Is worse than anything we've seen.
Could it be we're approaching something like the Eye of the Storm?
It's possible, but such an abrupt change in climate from tropical to desert, only the anomaly could cause something so dramatic. What if it's actually getting worse?
So let's see. This truck looks pretty cool. You can also customize your truck. So this thing that you drive around in, you can't actually drive the truck. The truck literally only carries you around from location to location, so you can't drive around in it, but you can customize it. So at points like this you can marvel at your truck, and you unlock various things for your truck through the accolades page. So it's basically a bunch of different achievements, and you unlock like truck parts and paint and various dances and stuff like that. It almost feels like a season pass, but fortunately you don't have to pay for it or anything like that. But it's very season pass like. But yeah, fortunately you don't have to pay for it. I hate season passes. Any games with season passes I tend to avoid. So yeah, there's a bunch of different achievements and stuff that you can do, and you get various banner stuff, and you can customize your truck with various things, like you can change the thing on front, stuff like that, and you can change the wood like that, and you can change the thing on the back, and the bumper you can change, and the wheel covers you can also change, and you can change the color, stuff like that. Pretty useless, but it's all aesthetic type of stuff. And then you get a bunch of flags for your banner, and you also get some emotes. How do I show you the emotes? So that's like the clown dance. What's that guy? The guy from Eat Pennywise. That's a Pennywise dance. And then there's the classic show-off one. There's the Arnold, I believe they call it, the Arnold. And then just a normal wacky one. So there's a bunch of different dances. Not a lot. There's like 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 38 dances. But I'm certain that they will add more eventually. And since it is just cosmetic, like the dances, I don't really mind it if they add them in the Steam store, like if they charge money for it. I don't really mind that, to be honest. Just as long as they don't... oh no, I made my fucking truck red. I didn't want to make it red. Just as long as they don't put any actual in-game shit behind a paywall. They actually already did with this A1 DLC that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. They actually did put weapons in there. The DLC is actually pay to win. Like literally, I think it was $6 or something like that. And you get weapons, pretty strong weapons for the beginning. In the DLC, with the DLC, so it gives you an advantage at the beginning of the game. So I don't like that at all. Firstly, the fact that they have day one DLC. And day one DLC, you need to remember, is very anti-consumer, because day one DLC means that they are releasing the game, and on the day that they are releasing the game, they already have DLC, meaning that they segregated content from the game with the explicit meaning of charging money for it. So they could have put it in the game, and they should have put it in the game, but instead they said no, this part of the game we're going to segregate, and we're going to charge money for it. I mean, that's fucking insane. That's why I despise games and game devs who have day one DLC. And unfortunately, these guys have paid to win day one DLC. So it's even worse than just normal fucking day one DLC. They actually put stuff that has game altering effects into the game, and they ask money for it. So that's not cool. That's really not cool. Do I want to go here? Well, there's a flag post over here that I can just plant, I guess. And then there's oh, there's a quest over here. Let's see. Oh, it's a historian survival area. I guess I can do that while I'm here, since, as I said, I want to avoid the main story if I can, in order to not spoil the game for you guys. So let's kill these guys. Fortunately, it seems like it's just another bunch of normal creatures. I much prefer the creatures to the human enemies. The human enemies, like I said, are actually pretty smart. They dodge you, they make your life difficult by flanking you, avoiding your bullets, taking cover, stuff like that. Whereas these guys really put up very little fight. I like that a lot. You can just see my world tier ranking go up and up and up, and I really don't take much damage from these guys. Whereas with the human enemies, when you're fighting human enemies, almost constantly you have to dodge snipers. The snipers can kill you, like I've already shown you guys, very easily if you're not careful. I like the fact that the enemies burst into blood like that. I think it's if you kill them with a critical hit, then they burst into blood like that. Like that a lot. Oh, monster nest, you say? I think we're gonna fight a boss here. It's obviously going to be a beast boss, which I really have no problem with. As long as it's not a ranged beast boss. Ah, there's the boss. And it's a brood mother. I ran out of bullets. Dodge, 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 dodge. Of course, as you know, holy shit, you dodge quicker and faster if you say dodge while dodging. We all know that. It's like when you're playing a car racing game and you're about to hit a wall and you duck out of the way in your seat. That obviously allows you to avoid the wall completely. So that's why I say dodge, dodge, dodge when I'm actually dodging. It helps my character get out of the way quickly, obviously. So we pick up this loot and we pick up the historical item. Oh, and we get another epic. I have a bunch of loot now. And once I get back to town, I'm gonna have a shitload of upgrades.
Wonder what Madame Beauvoir would make of this.
Okay, let's travel back to there, I think. Yes. Oh, and there's a beast hunt as well, I see on the map. Okay, not that way. I mean, I could run more in that direction, but then I'm gonna go over there, that area there. I don't think I want to go over there right now. But I guess I could. I mean, if they allow me to go over there, then might as well. Sometimes they don't allow you to go into certain places, and then I just basically will turn around. Even though I don't like the fact that you have to run all the way and then you get turned around. Like up here right now, it's happening. I can't go in there because there's a quest there that unlocks later down the line. So I ran all this way and wasted a minute or two of my life, simply because there is a quest that they don't want me to complete right now. I don't like it when games do that. They should tell you, like, fucking just show on the map, like, you can't go there right now, you know? That would be much fucking better. Okay, let's see. I was up here already. Let me just get my bearings again. Here's the boss hunt. I guess we can do the boss hunt. This is like not a mini boss, it's a boss. Usually it's not like a boss, because you actually get like some big fucking bosses in this game. I've only fought about 3 of those so far. Usually these hunting missions are just like
That cave looks promising.
bigger bosses than normal. They're not mini bosses. Oh, there's a flag over there.
Found a cave. Should be big enough to bring the trucks in.
On our way. This storm is getting worse by the minute.
Okay, I have to wait for them, I guess. Once again, this is going to be a main quest area, so don't watch if you don't want to get spoiled.
You need to drink, you stupid bitch. Hey, she's waking up!
How do you feel? You've been out a few days. Whoa.
I can't feel my legs.
I'm sorry, Bailey.
Why didn't you just kill me?
Dada. My masterpiece. Dabrowski has outdone himself again. What? What did I do now? Oh. I thought my daughter wanted you to live. For God no reason.
Kill me? Or get on my face?
Shut up!
Is that a fire out there?
You see, there's a couple of times just during this one cutscene where the dialogue just gets cut off for some reason.
I'll go check it out.
And honestly, that happens a lot. Like, I've seen it a lot during the entire game. Like, the dialogue will just get cut off, or there will be an awkward scene transition, you know, stuff like that. It's just weird. I don't know, the devs really need to work on the timing of the scene transitions and the cutscenes and the dialogue and all that kind of stuff. Let me see, can I sell anything? No, I don't think I can sell anything here. So I'm gonna spend some time now checking out my... Oh, that looks cool. That one looks cool. It's like a robot with a skull on top. That looks fucking awesome. Unfortunately, it's not epic, but I can make it epic if I really want to. Another thing that I don't like about the game is the fact that there's no transmog system. Like, this game really would have benefited from a transmog system. It's the same reason why Cyberpunk 2077 wasn't as good as it could have been. That game would have been fucking amazing if it had a transmog system. Cyberpunk 2077 had some awesome gear and all of that, but it didn't have a transmog system. So this game as well, I mean, like, that looks pretty cool. I like that. I don't really like this. I mean, it looks cool with the orange thing that I'm wearing right now, the orange burqa or whatever. But, I mean, there's some other really cool pieces of armor that you could put together, like make different looks and stuff like that. But you can't, because it would be very inefficient to wear this piece of armor simply because it looks cool over this piece of armor with the amazing mods on it. So that's another thing that I really don't like about the game. The fact that it doesn't have a transmog system. It would have been really simple for them just to allow you to right click on your stuff and change the look to another item that you have already disenchanted. Obviously, they fucking made it so that you can extract mods from stuff that you have disenchanted and minerals from stuff that you have disenchanted. So why not the looks? Just allow you to make your weapons look like any weapons that you have already disenchanted and make your armors look like any armors that you have already disenchanted. Really simple, and it would have added so much to the game, because now I lose a bit of that RPG flavor, you know. I want to live myself into my character, even though I'm a fucking female, but you get the idea. I want to look the way I would look if I were in the world, if I were fucking walking around in the desert and being a badass, you know. I wouldn't look like this. I would look like this. I would fucking love to look like this, but I wouldn't look like this, you know. So that's the point I'm trying to make. The game would really have benefited from a transmog system, and I really don't think it would have been so difficult to add a transmog system, to be honest. But yeah, I think I want to bring this video to a close right now. So I'm quickly going to go through a few of the things that I haven't mentioned already that really irritate me about the game. Obviously, I've already said the things that I like about the game. The game is smooth as a motherfucker. It looks good as a motherfucker. So that's really good. You have a very good looking game that doesn't require a fucking RTX 390 to run, you know? This game runs absolutely fine on my 7-year-old graphics card at 60 FPS, and it looks really well. So that's really good. The fact that the devs made the game run really good. And that's not surprising, because Bulletstorm, a game which is pretty old, I think Bulletstorm is from like 2014 or something like that. It is a really good looking game for that time, and it looks good. It really looks pretty good, and it ran good as well. And by the way, Bulletstorm is actually one of my favorite first-person shooter games. It's a really good first-person shooter game if you have not played Bulletstorm ever. Bulletstorm was made by the same devs who made this game, so kudos to them for making 2 pretty good games in a row. They also made Max Payne, which was a pretty good game as well. Not like the best game on earth, but it's pretty good game. So far these guys have made 3 pretty good games in a row, which certainly should be commended, and they didn't fill it with microtransactions, even though they're stepping on very thin ice by charging $60 for this game and having day 1 DLC that is pay to win. So minus points to them for doing that. That's not good dev behavior right there. They're throwing some of their goodwill into the water with those moves, unfortunately. Like I said, good points. The game runs very well. The enemies are very smart. The gun variants that you can change, like the fact that you can make a gun into 3 different variants, is a really cool. I like that quite a lot, as well as the mods. The mod customization on the guns is also really good, and to be honest, the game is fun to play. That's probably the most important thing when considering to buy a $60 game. That's a lot of money. So the game better be fun to play, and to be honest, this game is fun to play. I've played it for over 50 hours and I'm still enjoying hour 51 and hour 52 and hour 53. So that's obviously very important. That's, to be honest, all of the good things that I have to say about the game. And those points alone absolutely would make me recommend the game. I would absolutely say that the game is worth $60. If it were not for the bad points, some of the biggest bad points I have already said, like for instance the fact that you are massively disadvantaged by playing solo. There are various skills and mods which make you much more powerful when you are playing in a group. And there are no mods or skills that make you more powerful when playing solo. So that is a massive design oversight that the devs really need to fix. You can't have a game where you are massively advantaged by playing in a group over playing solo, because I'm a solo player. I want to be as powerful as the guys in a group, not the entire group. I just want the individuals in that group to not be massively advantaged, and currently this game is set up where that is a fact. If you are in a group, you are massively more powerful as an individual compared to if you are playing solo, and that is not good at all. That, in fact, is the biggest downside with this game by far. It's the biggest downside by far with this game. The second biggest downside, in my opinion, is the fact that you can't track multiple quests at once. You can only track one quest at a time. So that's really not good. Another bad side is the map. As we've seen, the map is atrocious. You can't know where the fuck you are going in this game with the map. The map really needs to be fixed. The game has no full screen windowed mode. That's bad. Especially me as a content creator, someone who makes videos, when recording, I want to be able to alt tab and have the game running as well as have my streaming software, my recording software visible. Yet with this game you can't. With this game it is either windowed mode or full screen. There's no windowed full screen. It's either windowed or full screen, and I don't like that at all. That's a big downside for me as a content creator. And then the other bad points that I will run through with you quickly, obviously mining or restocking or doing various things while you have ammo power removes that ammo power and makes you wait for 60 seconds before you can use another ammo power. That's not good. There are very abrupt scene changes during gameplay and story cutscenes, as we've seen. That really kills the immersion for you. Kiting enemies around. We actually saw it once or twice during this video. Kiting enemies around sometimes gives you a warning saying endangering your allies, and then there's a 10-second countdown, and then if you ignore the 10-second countdown, if you keep going into the direction which you are currently kiting the enemies, then you fail. You literally like fail. It's almost as if you die, you fail, and that makes you lose rank. So that's really not good. I don't know what the fuck the devs were thinking with regards to that. Another problem is the fact that there's sometimes the smallest fucking ledges. There's like a small ledge or like the smallest thing that you can jump over, and then you can't jump over it. You can't vault over it. Nothing like that. That's really strange. And if you've played the game, you will know exactly what I mean. There's some camera issues with the third-person camera view. We saw some of it in this video where if you're backed up against the wall and shooting, then the camera is obscuring. The camera is not very good. The camera behavior needs to be tweaked. Unfortunately, it is a problem with third-person games, and unfortunately, the devs have not made the third-person view, the third-person camera in this game, good enough. Then dialogue gets interrupted via scene changes. If you go from one zone to another zone, then the dialogue gets interrupted. If you're listening to that dialogue, that is not good. Sometimes if you're doing a scene change, we've actually seen that like 2 or 3 times in this video as well. If you're doing a scene change, if you're going from one zone to another zone, sometimes there will be enemies at the very beginning of the zone, especially with humans. This happens a lot with human enemies. Then 10 or 15 human enemies will just immediately start opening up on you. They will immediately, as soon as you spawn in the next zone, immediately start shooting at you. 10 or 15 enemies immediately shooting at you is fucking insane. You have to then immediately run for cover, and because you will die if 10 or 15 enemies are constantly shooting at you and you're not in cover or taking some defensive action. So that's really fucking strange. The map, as I said, could be much better. It is static currently. It should not be static. It should be dynamic or active. It should show you where you are on the map and where quests are on the map, and it should allow you to put waypoint markers on the map. Another really bad thing is the fact that items are insanely expensive in the shop. Like insanely expensive. Like I found some items that cost 40,000 money. Like I currently have 120,000 money, and that's a lot because I've been playing this game a lot. But some items cost 40,000. That is insane. So items in the shop must be made a lot cheaper, like at least 50% cheaper, to be honest. Once again, there's no descriptive information about certain modifiers, like Golem, for instance. Like I've showed you on my one piece of armor. I think it is... Where is it? There it is, Golem. So the mod says, obtain Golem. What the fuck does Golem mean? You can't, even if you press details, it doesn't show you what Golem means. What the fuck does Golem do? That's a big negative point with the game. You need to be able to see what the mods do. I have no idea what Golem does, so why would I select that mod? All I think it does is I think it improves your armor, but I have no way of knowing. So that's another bad point with the game. They need to give you descriptive information for all of the abilities with regards to the mods and the skills and stuff like that. The player can't be left in the dark with regards to stuff like that, especially if they want to min-max their build. People like me who like to min-max their build need to be able to see percentages and know all of the information about the various stuff. Another bad thing is the fact that you can't pause the game at all. Like, you can't pause the game. If I press exit, the game still goes on. If there were enemies charging at me right now, I would be dead. So you can't pause the game at all. It's essentially a single player game. I mean, if I didn't tell you that this was an online game, you wouldn't know that it's an online game, because everything that I've done for the past 2 hours has been single player. I've played this entire game single player in this video. But if you press exit, you can't pause the game at all. So if you are playing in a single player mode, as I am currently, the game should be allowed to be paused, because it's ridiculous that you can't pause a single player game. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much all of the good points and the bad points that I have to say about the game. With all of the good points and the bad points considered, I would recommend that you play this game. It does cost $60 with a $5 paid day one DLC, which is not good. So it essentially costs you $65, which is a lot for a game. But I've played 50 hours of the game and I'm still enjoying the game. And I would say that is pretty good value for money. It's about the same as Cyberpunk and Witcher 3. With Witcher 3, I've put way more than 60 hours of time into that game, and I paid, I think, $50 or $60 for the game, so that's pretty damn good. Cyberpunk, paid $60 for the game, got 60 hours of enjoyment out of the game, even though with Cyberpunk not all of those hours were enjoyable, since Cyberpunk has a lot of problems, a lot more problems than this game does. So honestly, I would more recommend that you pay $60 for this game before you pay $60 for Cyberpunk. Yes, I've said it, this game is better than Cyberpunk in my opinion. This game just has a lot of good stuff, and even though the devs have made some terrible design choices, like I've mentioned in the past 5 minutes or so, it still is a good game, and I would totally recommend that you pay $60 for the game. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. It's a good game. Pick it up if you want. I will put the link in the description below where you can grab the game. The game is available on Epic Game Store. If you are going to buy it on Epic Game Store, if you could use my code PLANK69, which I will also put in the description below, that would be really, really awesome, because I will get like $5 from it if you buy the game using my code on Epic Game Store. It would be really appreciated, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. This is a good game. Get it if you want. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.